you guys are alive. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you are alive? Yes. Yes, let's bring the energy in the room, right? So, welcome. My name is Sadakin. I'm a business advisor with Power Team, and we have a panel today. And we're going to have, after this, we're going to have speaker. Albert is going to speak about the profit and revenue. And then after that, Bill Waltz himself is going to be here and speak to us. And that's the time that you will really want to take lots of notes, because that's the time that you're going to learn, like from here to there, right? He is a business strategist, he's a venture capitalist, and I'll introduce him later today with that. But you need to be here for sure, right? So with that, we're going to start a panel here. So let's start with thanking people who actually made this happen, right? You guys give me a big round of applause for the panel, and then yes, there you go, thank you. So I'm going to start with, we have 3 people in the panel, and I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves and what they do, and in 1 minute, maybe I'll give you 2 minutes a person, what you do and what is it that you're offering to the audience.
Hello everyone, I'm Ramon Thomas. I'm the owner of Ramon's Pasta and Go. It's a franchise, and what I'm offering the audience is an opportunity to be able to invest in an Italian grab-and-go pasta concept that really doesn't exist here in the United States. My pasta is fresh from Italy, as am I, and all of the sauces and everything are made right there in front of you, and it's organic and natural. So everything's organic. There's only 3 ingredients in everything that you eat. You can get this, deliver this to your customer in 4 minutes or less. So this is what it is that I'm offering today. And I'm also going to be giving some lucky participants some free food. So I brought my pasta from New York City, and it's being warmed up right now, and I'm going to give some samples out a little bit later so you can try it and see what it's like.
And if you guys want more, you have to come back again tomorrow.
That's right. Come back again tomorrow. Here you go. Sure.
Hi, my name is Michelle Nguyen. I am the income architect. I have 3 decades of experience in finance. I've worked for top companies in the world: Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, GE, Splunk, USAA. I could go on. I've worked for 50 companies in my lifetime. I've helped corporations with their finances from a 1-year plan to 5 to 10 to 20-year plan, and has become very successful. I help individuals as well, from Finance 101 all the way through fractional CFO. I also have a Profit Analyzer 2.0 that can help you with your business. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Albert Corey. Raise your hands. You want to have more money at the end of the month? Say yes.
Yes.
Can't hear you. Say it a little louder. Yes. Well, I've been in business we just turned 41 years in business with an accounting and marketing services, where we assisted over 45,000 business owners to put more money in your pocket. So today I'm here to make sure that you walk with more money in your pocket at the end of the year, at the end of the month, not at the beginning of the month.
Great, great. Give him a big round of applause. Some of you just came in earlier, so we're doing a panel. I'm Sadakin Budiman. I am actually a business advisor with Power Team. But prior to last year when I joined Bill Waltz, you'll get to know Bill more today. I spent about 32 years in tech companies, and so dealing with $1 billion customers, working for $1 billion business, and scaling companies globally. So I was in Asia for 10 years. I live in Singapore, also in China. So I understand, I have lots of manufacturing and engineering and IT experience in those things. So I understand a little bit about how to scale in $1 billion companies. And I actually learned that there's a lot of processes and similar concept that I can actually transfer to small businesses. So if you hear that there's a board of directors in the big companies, I think small business need a board of advisors. Do you agree? Right? So what if you have someone who has 30 years experience here in different expertise in different areas? Would it be able to help you? So if you want to connect with us, stay around and then connect with us, right? I'll give you about 30 to 1 hour free time with me, so we'll see where you are in your business and how to scale that in the big time. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna go back to the channel here. So I met Ramon last year in the event, something like this, and he had a pasta to go. And believe it or not, he's Italian. Can you see it in Italian? Can you speak something in Italian?
Io parlo molto italiano. Come stai, mio amico, mia amica? Come stai?
If I translate that, have a good day, guys. Yeah, so he has a store already in New York City in the World Trade Center. That's opening one in Las Vegas, right? Where the goal is to actually help this company to scale to 100 this year. And beyond that, he's doing a lot of efforts and scaling this in a big way. So make sure you contact him. So also Michelle, so I met her and she's into financial literacy with a CFO background. This person is somebody that you want to know and to actually have the service, because there are two people that you need actually maybe three. One is the financial person, the CPAs and tax strategies, and also you need a lawyer. So we don't have a lawyer in the group here. Anybody a lawyer? Okay, good. So you should be up here. All right. So with that, the next question time. Oh, Albert. This man has over 4,000 accounts in his clientele.
This year alone.
This year alone. So amazing. So you have wealth of knowledge and experience that you can tap into through the Power Team International. So make sure that our contact info should be on your cell phone, right? And when I first met Bill, and within 7 days, I met two attorney general. I met Sharon Lechter, who wrote with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I can name more names in that. Just in 7 days, I met him. So networking is something that you want to have, right? It's not the not working, it's the networking, right? So the networking means that you need to be in the right room, because all you need is just one ideas or one person or one mentor that will take your business to a different trajectory. You agree with that? Yes? Okay, with that, let's have a second question. Second question is, you have ups and downs in your business. Tell us the ups and tell us the down and what nuggets that you can share with us.
How about I talk about life? Okay, so everyone has their ups and downs in life. You know, we all start one place. Sometimes don't end up where we want to end up, right? So I wanted to be a professional football player. So I went to Rutgers. I played for the Raiders for 2 years. Did pretty well, but I was just too banged up, and I didn't know what to do. Right? I was like, okay, I can't use my body to play football anymore. So I need to use my other muscle, which is my mind. So I said, I'm going to go travel and blow all my money on seeing every country I can, and I ended up in Italy. And I lived there for 9 years. I learned the language, and I turned it around. So, and then I started to work with other brands. So I started to actually import brands from Italy to the United States. So my first customer was Lamborghini. So the Lamborghini family, and Patricia Lamborghini, we met at the gym, and I represented her brand throughout the United States for about 3 years. So everything you see that has a Lamborghini on it, that's not a car, I brought it here actually, and brokered the deal. Then after that, I worked with the Juventus football team, and that's when Cristiano Ronaldo he was playing for them, and I did some big deals with them, opening soccer stadiums throughout. There's actually one here in Miami, and there's one in Canada, and there's one in New York, the Fire Island. Did that too, right? But just to go back to what my friend Sadikin said, you know, ups and downs and little nuggets or whatever, my whole trajectory was not what I thought it was going to be. I was like, I'm going to be an NFL football player for the rest of my life. I'm going to make millions of dollars. And I'm just going to figure it out. And it just didn't work that way. I just had to pivot, you know, and figure it out. And I would say be resilient and be open-minded. That's my nugget.
history about myself. I survived the war at age 6. So coming over here, my parents were illiterate of the language, the culture, and everything else. But finance was the key factor. 1 + 1 = 2 in every single language. So that's what pulled me through, pulled my family through, and that's why it's my passion to help everyone in that field. People don't talk about their finances, people don't want to learn about their finances, but it's so critical because everything you do need to know that 1 + 1 = 2 to pay for the light bill, to pay for your mortgage, to pay for everything else. So that's why I'm very passionate about it, and I became a part of the World System Builder Literacy Program to teach these 7 workshops live on Zoom every day. In addition, teaching individuals to small businesses becoming successful, as well as providing the CFO work. Thank you.
Well, my down was I graduated University of South Florida, working with my parents' motels in Hialeah, Florida, and my mom says, Albert, yeah, Mom, you owe the IRS. I go, huh? What's that? Yeah. So that was my down, but that could have been the good thing in my life, because after that, I figured I have to go figure out the why, and that was we just finished 41 years ago. Help put people in your money in your pocket. Riley, Michelle, I got to tell you something, kind of that you're not. See, in her world, 1 and 1 is always 2. Yes. In my world is if you want to put more money in your pocket and pay less to the IRS, that's a maybe, perhaps. So that was my down. Right now, I think I'm on the highest kite ever, just finishing 41 years. We've served over 170,000 regular clients, and we just passed like 60,000 business clients. So that's my ups and that's my downs, to make sure that my clients make sure they put more money in their pockets at the end of the month. Because remember, it's not what you make, it's what you have on the 30th of every month.
All right, Christine is a little bit late here, coming in here, but I'm going to rephrase the question here, so we'll have a lot more time. I met Christine last year, right? And actually, all these people that I met, it's like within months, but it's amazing that how many people that you actually meet, and it's just amazing how much wealth and experience. And so Christine, I met in Orlando, and she was walking around and said, "Who was that person?" And it turns out that she's the guru for writing grants. How many people know here? How many of you have written grants? Raise your hand. Okay.
You're my people.
Do you know what that means? There's a lot of opportunities. In fact, I invited her to my community. I run a community and I host events on a Zoom call. And she says, I want to make sure that people on the call would have the opportunity to work with her, and she's willing to help you or help me write my first grant. So how about if you can have that, but you have to convince her, or not convince me, that she probably want to do that. I don't know if she wants to do that today. She will offer that. Later today, we're going to give it the opportunity for them to offer you something that could be beneficial for you. But I want you to know Christine is the guru when it comes to writing grants. So go ahead, Christine.
Oh, thank you, Sadikin. So about 2 years ago, we met Bill Walsh because my 14-year-old son had started his own business. And what happened quickly is that the bank of mom and dad was starting to think, I'm not sure I can support this. And I started to see my own son's dreams fade away. How many of you are feeling the pinch of funding your dreams, your vision, your mission, your product out of your own pocket? How many of you feel that? Just one? Okay, see a lot of heads nodding. How many of you knew that there is grant money available? That is money you do not have to pay back. It is not a loan. This is money that they give you, that money is available to for-profit businesses. Did you guys know that? Would you like to know more about that? Would you like me to send you some of those grants that you begin to write your own grant in a couple days? So take out your phone, and send a message to the message 26786.
26786. That's the text number that you're gonna send a text.
And put in
267.
funded, and I will send you 10 easy to write grants. Are they easy?
Amen.
So these are two of my students up here that are getting grant money for their businesses.
26786. Text to that number.
So I'll be
26786.
over in the corner, but what I love about working with Bill Walsh is that he brings people together like this so that we can collaborate. I met Sadikin through that, and we get to support, we don't compete. So I love working with Bill Walsh for that. And the man is, if you haven't had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him, he rattled off 5 or 6 different amazing business thoughts just off the top of his head. So anyway, yeah, I'd love to support you, and even if it's just knowing that grants exist and I can give you a grant to write, but what I have is a program that will do it easy. I have like the easy button, so if you're an easy button person, I'm your girl.
So our next question was actually, I'll give you 1 minute to answer that. You've gone through ups and downs, right, in your business. And tell us here, and how do you handle the tough part? So when you had that tough moment, what's the nuggets you can share with the audience here?
Well, I think I've learned the most about that from my own son, who has health challenges. And when I tell him, you know, it's okay, you don't have to do it, he looks at me and the terror on his face. And it took me a minute to understand that the terror wasn't he was afraid of doing the thing, he was. But the terror was, if I don't do it, I will never do it. So get into action. If you are afraid, instead of saying I'm afraid, say I'm excited. And that is that I'm on the verge of doing something big. If you're not feeling that, you need to push yourself further. Get uncomfortable, start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and continue to grow. Get in rooms where people are doing the things that you want to do, start collaborating, and start opening your mind to bigger, bigger, bigger.
All right, so I'm going to ask the last questions. After that, we're going to introduce Albert here to have the opportunity to teach us more today. So, last question is, you already kind of mentioned how people can reach you. So let's have the same questions for the other 3 first. And then we'll come back and then talk about one thing that really impacted yourself in wanting to help others. Let's do 1 minute and then we'll pass it. The rest of you guys can have the same question and how people can reach you.
Okay. The impact. Okay. So I told you that my son started a business, and what happened is somebody reached down and said, let me show you how to write grants. Again, I was like you, I had no idea that grants were even available. So I got curious, I leaned in, and yeah, if you don't know the things, just lean into the people who do, and always go with the easy button. Quit doing the little things that you shouldn't be doing, and find the VAs or collaborate with people who are doing, like, I don't want to know about taxes, so I go to Albert. So find the people who do the things that, again, you know how to get hold of me. I'm also on LinkedIn and Facebook under Christine Hebel.
So, raise your hand if you want to start putting extra money in your pocket almost instantly. Everybody does. Okay, now I want everybody to pick up their phone and text PROFITS, PROFITS, to 26786. That's PROFITS, PROFITS, to 26786. We're going to give you 8 ways to put money in your pocket almost instantly.
That's the same number again, 26786. And type profits.
And you can follow me everywhere on Albert Court.
Oh yeah, and do it. He's hilarious.
Well, I'm going to add to that. He's going to put money in your pockets but what are you going to do with the money? Don't buy those extra shoes, extra sunglasses. Text FUTURE, FUTURE, to 26786, and I'll provide a free consultation and help you build your future and see the present now with this code. You'll be able to, I'll give you that free consultation as an individual, as a small business, as a family. I will provide that personal financial strategy for you.
Yeah. Guys, just FYI, there's going to be a couple more speakers after this, so stick around, don't leave yet.
Okay, so to reach me, you can text Ramons at 26786. If you're interested in franchising or licensing, get in contact with me. The Pasta to Go franchise of micro restaurant is the wave of the future. Modern, contemporary design with a quick grab and go restaurant using all organic and natural products that is delivered within 4 minutes or less. This is just what we're doing. We're all on our phones all the time. We're all busy. Everyone has ADD right about now. And we just don't have time to sit down at a restaurant and eat and take 1 hour listening to the story of how the restaurant was built and where all the tomatoes came from. People want to eat, they want quality food, they want to take care of themselves, and they want to go. That's what my restaurant offers. It's a Ramons Pasta to Go.
How do you spell your
And
Ramons?
that's ROMONT. And you can go to Ramons.com if you want to take a look at the menu. We do gelato, we do pasta. And go to WantItaly.com if you want to see my New York location at the World Trade Center.
You're getting too fast. Want Italy.
WantItaly.com
Yes,
for
sir.
my World Trade Center, our World Trade Center location, and Ramons.com for the Las Vegas location.
ROMONTS. Ramons.com. All right. So if you want to reach me, you can type on the same 26786. Type BABA. That's business. So it's actually Badass Business Advisor. It's BABA. So BABA 26786. Right? You got that? 26786 BABA. All right. With that, I think we're good for now. And thank you for giving them a big round of applause. And now I'm going to introduce our next speaker. All right. No, I think I'm going to just do a quick introduction. Like I said, this man is the guy that you need to know. He knows all the strategy and the tax, and he's got clients, about 4,000 just this year alone. And he's been in the industry for 41 years. And I just can't talk to you about anything else other than tax and how do you make more money and keep your money in your pockets, right?
Yes,
so with
sir.
that, I want to introduce you, my good friend here. His name is Albert Corey. Give him a round of applause.
Hey, thank you, everybody. So let me give you, first of all, my name's Albert Corey, and raise your hand. We went through this before, but we'll start again. Is raise your hand if you choose just a little bit of extra money at the end of the month. Say yes. Say yes. Well, that's what we're here to show you. Because after 41 years and 75,000 clients, I kind of learned a few things how to put money in your pocket. And we learned, by the way, I learn stuff every day. I mean, I've worked with every kind of industry, from truck drivers to children actors and everything in between. And whatever business you're in, I guarantee you I can help you. Remember, Dan, weren't we talking about that a few minutes ago? So, part of the couple of ways you can start putting money in your pockets is, raise your hand if you all have what kind of business everybody in, or just say it out loud. Nobody has any businesses here? Nothing? Okay, well, what kind of business, sir? Credit repair, that's good. So, and all the rest of you are W2, what kind of work? printing company. For all the rest of you, it looks like you're all W-2 employees, right? Well, here's one way, if you're W-2 employees, that I recommend everybody every day is, you need to open up a business. Okay? You need to open up a business because now you can write off everything. Isn't that a crazy thing? That you can start putting money in your pocket by, and we open those up every day. But it's simple as opening up the company, pretty much getting a business credit card and writing almost everything off. Because the IRS says is, what are you doing to move the business forward? Like Daniel, here's a great one, if you went and watched YouTube, right? Because you watched YouTube, how to do multifamily or Grant Cardone, or went on YouTube and followed Albert Corey about business success, hint, 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 Albert Corey. Guess what? That's a deduction. Because now you're moving your business forward. That's all it takes. It could be, on Facebook, Instagram. But the trick is you got to do stuff to move it forward. And you have to have a company open. So once you have your company open, a lot of stuff is deductible. Now, how about you? Do you pay for your cell phone bill every month? Right? Well, the IRS will pay for it because, I don't know about you, but I watch a whole lot of those videos on my cell phone, right? And on your tablets. Well, that now makes your cell phone deductible. Did you ever watch anything while you're sitting on your dining room table at all? Come on, this is interaction, guys. You don't have to smile and but that's what you got to do. All that becomes, now your house becomes a portion of the house comes to deductible. Going to events going to deductible. And that's how you start putting money in your pocket, is you got to know the deductions. You need to have a business. Okay, you need to have a business. And now almost a lot of stuff gets deducted. And it's legit business, by the way. And the business can be almost anything. It can be anything from trying to be an Instagram influencer to walking dogs. Now, I had somebody come in the other day, and I think they said they made $80,000. You know what they did? They're babysitting dogs, okay? Got it? So everything is a business. And guess what? If you think about your business, you're going to start to make money. But now, here's one of the ways you start putting money in your pockets. You just always got to be careful kind of what I know that's always the same. Spend, make more than you're spending. No, it's not. Just make sure that you're watching what you're spending. Some of the simple tips I will tell you is, raise your hand if you have a debit card. Right? Well, guess what? That's costing you money. You know what I'm saying? That's costing you money. Because I learned a long time ago that you want to use credit cards that give you points. What a concept, that's giving you money. And then you treat it like your debit card by paying it off, that you're paying it off at, when it comes due. So you just keep track of that. And then, that's part of one of the things. And now, like I said, you make sure you open up the company. Now a lot of stuff gets deductible. And part of another thing that I always tell people is when you start doing your tax returns and everything, don't use TurboTax. Please. 2 rules I have, raise your hand. You follow these 2 rules, don't put money in your pocket this time of year. 1, you don't use TurboTax. And 2, you don't go to those big companies that have initials. And that's what I worked for 42 years ago. That's another story. And they have green places. Because you know why? Because none of these people talk back to you. I want to ask, I want you to ask TurboTax. Hey, TurboTax, how do I deduct my car on the new big beautiful bill? When TurboTax answers you back, please tell me we all can make some money together. It's not going to answer you back. And make sure you go to people who can understand. Like you have a printing company, right? And you have a credit repair. Make sure if you have a business, you go to somebody that you can ask a question about. Like, great example is I do a lot of business coaches and stuff, and they have VAs and Zoom and stuff like that, and they'll say, oh no, you can't take it off. I go, why can't you? Oh, well no, of course. Is it moving your business forward? Okay, and now once your business is open, we're going to tell you another cool trick. is make sure you're not using somebody's either credit unions, Chime. I mean, guys, if you're using Chime, you need to call me right away because you probably need to put more money in your pocket. If you have to use that Chime debit card or credit card. But you want to start using banks. Once you get your business open, you want to start using probably one of the big 4 banks, like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank, because they give you more things, yeah, they're going to charge you $12 a month, but you're going to get the benefits of, if you stay there long enough, they're going to start giving you equity lines, they're going to start sending you credit cards, obviously you got to make sure you don't overcharge them. And credit unions don't help you at all. So we have a class of CFO in a Box where we start to show you how to put money in your pockets. Like what kind of corporation to open. Now, what's the difference between why you don't open up an LLC? Because here's what you're going to hear on the internet, by the way. You're going to hear, everybody says, and I see this all the time, people coming to my office, oh, Albert, I don't have to pay you. I can go and do it myself on Sunbiz, $135. And guess what? They come in the office, it's all done wrong. Because when you open up the single member LLC, okay, it goes on your personal tax return. And as somebody we filed this year like 1,000 business returns. You don't want nothing showing, in my world, to start putting money in your pocket. The less that shows up on your personal 1040, the better. Because after doing this forever, this is where the IRS audit computers, okay, Schedule C, boom. Oh, I did it myself. And on Schedule C, line 7 is where you put your cars. Somebody put 30,000 miles. Right? And unless you're a truck driver, guess what? The computer's going to go ding, 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 and hold your refund up. So that's why you want to put everything on like sub-S companies. If you're LLCs, we have a way of converting them. And in our classes and working with us, we will show you how to do this. We will show you what credit cards, why credit cards are important, how to get business credit. Business credit is good. Because here's what I even learned over the last 3 or 4 years. In my world, I show you how when working with me, as far as our business coaching, CFO in a Box, how I make sure that I disappear. What does that mean? Where all my credit cards, all my cell phone bills, all go to my company. 1, we can write everything off. And 2, if something goes south, they don't know where you're at. Because, if you open up, I'm trying to think of a business, if you open up something that, let's go sell masks because COVID's coming, I don't think you're going to do much. So if things go bad, it's to a company and they can't come back after. By the way, this is what I say, so please consult your doctor, lawyer, Indian chief if you're watching this or anything else. So does anybody have any questions? I can ramble. I think I got a few more minutes. Anybody has any questions? Okay, the difference is between revenue and profits. Revenues is what you collect every month, and the profits which you have at the end of the month. So we're going to show you how to make sure everything that I was talking about, how you have more money at the end of the month. Because I see this all the time, where you could take in $1 million, but if you're spending $1,100,000, you're in the negative. So sometimes it's better to make a lot less and have more money in your, more money in your pocket at the end of the month. And that's the name of the game, to have more money at the end of the month. Any other questions? Yes. Okay. I would tell you, if you're like a startup and stuff and you're not going to have a lot of partners, I'm a 1120S, a sub-S company person, because you get all the benefits of the LLC. You have your own little company, but you don't need any partners. Because in reality, you're the partner of one. You're the partner of one.
Can you talk more about the LLC?
Okay, well, LLCs, LLCs to me, if you're just starting out of the block, it doesn't really help you. I mean, unless you're gonna go buy a $500,000 property, right away, then you might need it because that would go beyond the requirements of an LLC or beyond the requirements of a sub-S company, 1120X. A sub-S company does the same thing because most people who open up LLCs, and I see it all the time in my office, they don't have any partners, so it shows up on your personal return, and that's going to get you into trouble. But, it's going to get you in trouble if you try to write some off. Just the IRS can see more on your personal return than your business returns. What's that? Yeah, so what happens is on an S corporation is the profit and loss passes through to your personal return. So, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you're single member LLC, if you show a loss, it shows directly on the Schedule C. And I can tell you, people have gotten into problems because they showed too big of a loss on their C, and the IRS computer freezes the refund. Any other questions? Okay, so the dates you have to know are, want everybody kind of write this down or put it in your phone, is the important dates you need to know is, I always, and I just went through this, a bunch of people, you need to put in your phone on January 11th, I know it's already passed, but for next year to file an extension to whoever you work, whoever's going to do your tax returns, so nothing is going to be late. Okay, if you got a business or personal return, I will tell you if you got a business, don't try to get your return done until after April 15th, because whoever's going to do the return is going to be so busy that they're not going to have time for you. And they're not going to be able to give you the best possible services. And they're going to be rushed, and it's just not going to come out good for you. No, on business returns, it's got to be filed before March 15th. I say January 11th because that's the first Monday of the year usually, or second Monday, and people will remember. You can go, listen, my friend, you can go to the last day. I'm trying to tell you so you're not rushed. Right, but I'm going to tell you from my opinion, yeah, you can go in my office on April 15th, and good luck when I had 60 people in the office, you have to wait 4 hours, or you could have filed the extension and come next week when it's calm and quiet. So you can decide. Any other questions? Oh, and the next date, I always tell people if you have a business, is obviously, we said March 15th, but another big date that everybody should know is I always say July 8th, just because if you have a business, I can tell you after doing this for a long time, that a lot of business owners don't have their stuff together. We have another class called Quiet Books, where if you have a business, you should be having all your bookkeeping done all year long, so that when January 3rd comes, or remember, whenever that last statement from your bank comes in, you add it in, and you're ready to go do the return. Like some of the companies who I work with, they send it on, like in February 1st, and they expect it with like a bunch of pages to be done by, I don't want to do an extension, but then how do you expect to get all your bookkeeping done by the due dates? So there's a lot of companies that don't have nothing done. So I tell people, make sure that by July 8th, you start making sure everything's done. And then by August 8th, you start calling the people who's going to do your tax return to make sure they have time for you. You'd be surprised how August is now coming my busiest months now, because they start calling people up to do their returns. I get a whole bunch of new clients because they say that they don't have time for them, or the company they used to do the stuff for them, the accounting firm, is out of business. So if you start calling on August 8th, you'll have plenty of time to adapt and react. And we're open all year round, and I always got the people in our office to take care of you all year round. We have bookkeeping. We have, in our office, we have everything from, we have bookkeeping, we open up companies, we have our CFO in the box class, which will get your business tuned up. We'll get your business tuned up. You can ask all your questions, and we get you really lined up for business success. Because the joke I always learn to say to everybody, I want all my clients to go make millions of dollars. Make the deposit. You know why? Because that's job security. I want everybody to have make lots of profit to tell me, oh shit, Albert, quick, help me. I make too much money. What do I got to do? And I say, thank you, Lord. You know, then you got to come. Any more questions? Questions? And you can get a hold of me. You can text Profits Bureau, FITS, if you haven't done that already, to 26786. I have a real office. It's at 1800 West 68th Street, Suite 118, Hialeah, Florida, 33014. And the question I get is, Albert, you don't look Hispanic. I'm not. You know, the only white guy in Hialeah. If you know the area, you get the joke. But I've been on 68th Street now since 1985. Doing well with clients all over the country, all over the world. Helping every single business take their stuff. Yes, sir, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, and do you help people to get loans from banks? For example, I know that 2% on IRS.
If you need help filling out the papers, even one of our clients, well, one of my extra specialties, Mr. Pernerman, is you tell me what you need to get done, and I've made a ton of money in my life making sure those loans match. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, I can make those papers dance to whatever you need. Any other questions, comments? Miss Christine. Christine is the grant lady. Let me tell you about Christine real quick. Raise your hand if you like some free money. Say yes. Well, she's the lady who's going to show you how to put money in your pocket without spending any money. What a concept. So now you have all that extra money to take your business to make your millions of dollars. So Miss Christine, the AI, the lady who's going to teach you the grants.
Excellent. And then Albert's going to teach you how to save.